This little girl hadn't eaten in 3 years. She took out a banana and gnawed on it directly. As she continued to eat, she found something strange. It turns out that this little girl is not a human being. It was the product of a scientist's research, a cross between a human and a space monster. After only 10 days, she grew from an embryonic tissue to a cute little girl. Jack had the girl living in a glass hut, and the genes in her were destined to make her uncomfortable. One day she shattered the glass to escape from the security guards who were in pursuit. She leapt out of the factory. Then she took a train to see the outside world. Jack rallied his men and set up a chase team. The telepathic David, the single blonde with a bachelor's degree, the unemployed Dr. Octopus at home, and Albus is a good agent. So the team was officially formed. The stewardess on the girl's side came in to check the tickets but found the compartment in disarray. She was worried about the safety of the little girl and began to search, and it was this action that put her in danger. The team arrived at the scene of the murder and were stunned by the tragic situation. As a result of the murder, the police began to stop the suspicious little girl at the station. But by now, the little girl has grown into a blonde beauty. This charming and sexy woman was not yet 1 year old. She was strolling leisurely on the road with a catwalk. This scene was seen by a man passing by. He took the woman to the hospital, but the doctor did not begin to intervene in the treatment. The wound on the woman's back healed automatically. The doctor was frozen in place. The man saw that the woman was unharmed, although he had some doubts in his mind, but still decided to bring the woman home. And all this certainly has nothing to do with the woman's face. The man is a good man. He decided to be intimate with her that night. When the relationship is about to go further, there was a doorbell in the distance. It turned out to be the squad. They found out the man's registration information at the hospital, so they rushed to his place. Unfortunately, they were a step too late. When they broke into the backyard, they saw the man floating on the water. The woman drove away from the scene. She drove down the valley by accident. The front of the car hit a high-voltage electrical box and burst into flames. Police found some charred segments in the car. The results of the DNA match showed that the victim was the monster who escaped. Jack immediately announced the end of the search mission. Several people returned to the bar to drink and celebrate. During this time, only David was sullen, because he sensed that the woman was alive and not far from them. David's eyes are good. Through a wooden door he could feel the movement of the two people inside the house, so the woman was really alive, and found a human male. David rushed to call the blonde sister and the man. When he was about to break in the door, the woman inside the house smashed through the wall and escaped, leaving the man to hide and hate the northwest. The team followed the trail and went after him. See, 10 meters thick iron door was smashed by the woman a big hole. The enemy was in great danger. The squad still gritted their teeth and rushed on. They arrived at the dark and damp basement only to find that the monster's trail had disappeared. As the men debated where to go, the monster came out of the water, dragged Jack into the water, then it disappeared again. The key moment is David's strength, sense of the ability to call them to come to a cave full of oil. Then found a very scary scene. A human child appeared in front of David. The child had mutated into a monster. He jumped at David. David backhandedly kicked him into the oil feet. Hearing his son's screams, the monster immediately sought revenge on David, but was forced into the pool by the men who arrived. Just as David was being pulled up, a black hand grabbed him. It turned out that the monster was not dead. The man saw the right moment and succeeded in rescuing David from the monster. End of the film. So, is the monster really dead?